excitement around the. Wait, what'd you say?
No, I said he ain't getting no franchise tag.
Yeah, that would have been crazy, though. I appreciate him asking.
Yeah, no harm in asking.
3 years money.
Let's get to it. Joy, realistic expectations for Caleb Williams. Can't wait for this one.
I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think that's realistic. I think the expectations that I have for him are separate from what I have for the team. So I think that he's going to have a good statistical year. I think he's going to have a nice start to his career. I think he will win Rookie of the Year. I think he'll be the first quarterback in Bears history to pass for more than 4,000 yards. And I think he's going to have a nice season. I've always felt this way.
Yeah.
Where I not disagree, but where I guess the confusion is if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, if he doesn't have a great rookie season, it is not going to change my opinion about what his potential is in any way. And then as far as the success of the Bears this season, I think while they have done a lot of great moves and a lot of things to be excited about, they're still having to put it all together with a rookie at the quarterback position. So the overall success of the team, I don't think necessarily is going to be coinciding with the success of Caleb Williams. When you look at what happened last year with the Texans, we leave out a lot of nuance when we talk about it. Like, for example, Jacksonville completely collapsing. Right? Now, listen, the Texans did everything that they needed to do to be in position to take advantage of that. But they did completely fall apart in that division. This is not an easy division that the Chicago Bears play in. So, again, I think Caleb Williams, as an individual, will have a really good statistical season. I think he will look like a pro. I don't think he's going to look like the game is overwhelming for him. And I think by the end of the season, we're going to know that he is the player that we think that he is, and he will look well. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. They have two really good teams in the division who are in no way, to me, trending down, and it's going to be tough. So I think the two things are separate for me. The Bears' success and Caleb Williams' success are separate. I think it's realistic to expect him to win Rookie of the Year.
I like that take, and I'm glad you mentioned playoffs because my realistic expectations are for the Bears to make the playoffs. And I was trying to go through it earlier today and try to simplify it for you at home. If you look at it, my division winners, and again, I don't really care. You can exchange your names. The Niners will go with the Eagles. Obviously, it could be the Cowboys. Shout out to the Cowboys, what they did last year. Let's make it the Bucks. Yeah. Now the NFC North will leave open, right? I don't know. Now the teams that I think are in the mix again, Cowboys, Packers, Lions, Falcons, Bears, Rams. I don't think the Cardinals are going to make the playoffs. I don't think the Seahawks with a new head coach are going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're in the contention. Saints, with all due respect, shout out Cam Jordan. Great question. So there's now 4 spots for the Bears, the North and the 3 other playoff spots. Bears, be one of the 4. Like my realistic expectations for Caleb, be one of the 4.
Be one of the 3. All right, put the pack. Can we be one of the 3?
So if you want to, and you put the pack there, then be one of the 3. Now there's 5 teams remaining, and there's 3 spots remaining. So as I look at it, either win the division and be one of the 4, or if James, if you want to take the Packers, or to Joy's point, if you want to take the Lions, then there's 5 other teams. Be one of the 3 for 5, or be one of the 4 for 6. And mind you, I'm being generous by putting the Falcons in there only because I respect Kirk Cousins. But again, as we know, Kirk Cousins has 3 playoff appearances, I believe, in his long career. So just be one of the 4. Just that is my realistic expectation for Caleb, is be one of the 4. I love what Joy said about being off Rookie of the Year. I would hope he would be Rookie of the Year. But where I'm at, Dave, be one of the 4.
I have a hard time putting team success and team results on one guy, even if he is the #1 overall pick, even if he's been hyped for 2 or 3 years at this point. This is one of the toughest divisions in football. I'm not ready to go there. Shout out to our wonderful producers, by the way. Bare Necessities. It's really quality work.
That was probably Heller.
I'm going to individual for me is what you can judge this guy on, because it's the Chicago Bears, guys. I know they're the oldest franchise. I know they got rich history, sort of, depending on what we're talking about. This team hasn't been in the playoffs in 6 years. They haven't had a winning record in 6 years. We're still figuring out if Matt Eberflus is a head coach that you want to build around. We're talking about coaches that might have gotten fired. He might have gotten fired. So I'm not ready to go that far. Not for the entire team, but for Caleb Williams, what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy until I get into it. I think it's realistic to expect Caleb Williams to have the best single season by a Bears quarterback. Ever. Individually, I think that's possible. And it sounds like I'm talking out the side of my neck, doesn't it?
I need to see some proof.
Let's break it down. Can you show me on the TV screen? This is what we're working with, guys. These are the best marks by a Bears quarterback ever. Now, 13 wins, I'm not putting that on Caleb again. That's a team thing.
Oh, Rex. Right.
3,800 passing yards from Eric Kramer in 1995. Eric Kramer also 29 passing touchdowns. This is ever, by the way. Again, Caleb Williams should write the rookie records in his sleep. You realize the rookie record for passing touchdowns in Chicago?
Is it 11?
It's 11.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I believe Mitch Trubisky set the yardage record at 2,100. If Caleb Williams is healthy, he's doing that by Halloween.
Yeah.
So you can blow past those records, and he can set his sights on real Chicago records. 4,000 yards would be the first time ever. It's entirely doable. 30 touchdowns, it would be the first time ever. It's at least possible to think about. You guys realize also, maybe you can guess from what I'm saying, 2 Bears quarterbacks have made the Pro Bowl in the Super Bowl era.
Shout out to Mitch.
Mitch Trubisky in 2018, not even Rex.
Wait, let me go. Tell me, Cutler.
Not, Jay Cuddy never made a Pro Bowl.
Hold on.
It didn't happen. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not going far enough back.
Hold on.
Hey.
The Super Bowl shuffle.
McMahon?
Yeah. Jim McMahon in the mid-'80s and Mitchell Trubisky in 2018, 6 years ago. That's the whole list. You realize the successful organizations of the NFC have had that many Pro Bowl quarterbacks in the last decade. He could be the 3rd one ever. And all he's got to do, and we all know, you know, I mean, a quarterback's going to go to the Super Bowl. A quarterback's going to pull out with a surgery. You only got to be the 5th best QB in the NFC to get a Pro Bowl spot, and I think Caleb Williams could do it this year. I think that's entirely realistic, even if the Bears don't make the playoffs.
So all of our answers were the same. Because if Caleb Williams throws 30-plus touchdown passes and over 4,000 yards, they in the playoffs.
That's not a guarantee.
But I'm just saying, like, our expectations for Caleb Williams is to look like a pro. It's going to be some plays that's like what he looking at, and it's going to be some plays like this young fella's going to be good. But if he can throw for 4,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns, the Bears will be in the playoffs. I think the Bears roster is set that way. And to be honest with you, I think this is one of the Bears quarterbacks that it don't got to all be on you. You don't have to just take chances out there. You had the last half of the season, you had a top 10 defense last year. You added Sweat, you had a top 10 defense. Like, you can play defense as well. I think if he is able to just scratch the surface to 4,000 yards, get to that 29, 30 touchdown pass, I think this team is good enough to have real expectations of making the playoffs, being one of those 3 teams in that spot. Because I won't say division. It might be the Packers, it might be the Lions, but when you talk Lions, I mean, when you talk Falcons, you talk Rams, he has a roster that I believe to compete and get his team into the playoffs if he just does, scratches the surface.
I think he can hit what everybody said, because if he's rookie of the year with this offensive rookie class of the Malik Neighbors, the Brock Bowers, the Thomas Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver. As talented as this rookie class is offensively, if he wins rookie of the year, then he did something right. Yeah. If he has the best season in Bears history, he did something right. And if he does to 30 touchdowns and all this, to me, you throw for 30 touchdowns,
they're going to be in
God, dog, that'd be crazy.
It makes me uncomfortable because, again, like, CJ was so amazing. CJ Stroud was so amazing last year, but we weren't doing this for CJ. You know, like, we weren't talking about how many can the Texans win. So that, I don't disagree with anything y'all are saying.
But
I just think it's a lot to put on a rookie.
Roster-wise and hype-wise. CJ wasn't as hyped as Caleb Williams coming out. CJ's roster wasn't as good.
This was like luck to me.
CJ's division wasn't as good either.
Division wasn't as good neither,
That too.
Right.
It's gonna be good football season.
I can't wait.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.